Velocity TV begins now.
And your source for esports racing is live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Full Velocity TV here live tonight in the blazing hot sun of Phoenix, Arizona, the ISM Raceway. It is the last race of the round of 8 for the gang over here at the Cyber Thunder Racing League. Wyckoff Heating and Cooling Thursday Night Thunder Series, and presented this week by Four Sons Home Improvement and Lawn Care. Going to thank Kyle Howell and the gang for stepping up and being this week's broadcast sponsor here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Cyber Thunder about to take out there for 110 laps around this flat, tricky 1-mile track out in Phoenix, Arizona. But before we get trackside, follow tonight's racing action around. What do you say we take this thing down to trackside? Let's pay honor to this great nation, the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red bells bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
All right, the national anthem getting us started here live tonight, the Full Velocity Racing Network on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Great to have you aboard the Phil and Jack Attack out here live for a Thursday night to the final round of the round of 8 here next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. We will crown a champion of the series. We know the likes of Tanner Tellerico is going to be racing on at Homestead. He's going to be joined by 3 more drivers tonight. The top of that list right now by 8 points is the number 38 of David Patton. He's got a 4-point gap on the number 55 of Ed Byen. The number 84 of Andrew Payne currently sits 1 point into the cut line here. As of right now, he would be our final transfer. Dakota Wilkins sitting 1 point out of the cut line. Tom Richter is 2 back. Michael Berg is 7 back. And Andrew Burr coming in tonight with probably needing a Hail Mary. He comes 11 spots back here tonight as far as the championship points go. But we get set for racing here tonight at this flat 1 mile racetrack out in Phoenix, Arizona. So without further ado, let's throw you down to our Voiles Trucking starting lineup tonight on the pole. Aboard car number 55, we have Ed Byen on the front row, and alongside aboard car number 1, that is Michael Berg. In row number 2, the guy we definitely know, 2-time winner in the round of 4, including last week's winner at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, aboard car number 42, that is Tanner Tellerico. And alongside, in the number 50, the only driver with us tonight not racing for a championship, that is Nick Fleury. Aboard car number 34, the Wyckoff heating and cooling machine. That Ford rolls off in position number 5th. And there's our good buddy Tom Richter. And alongside, the number 38 with all to lose here tonight. Aboard that number 38 Caden Filter Chevrolet, that is David Patton. And in our 4th and final row of the evening, we find a driver of car number 44. That is Dakota Wilkins with the number 23 of Andrew Burr, rounding out our field here tonight live. Oh, we're going to also join. We got Will Weber out there, a late entry to the coming. Will Weber going to tail the field tonight from position number 9 aboard car number 88. iRacing I flag, green flag going up in the air. We are racing off into what I guess you can call turn number 1 and 2 here at the ISM Speedway. Is off of 4th turn already. The race leader Ed Byen going to sprint his way out. Is an attempt to get myself into a better position to the quality action over here. Byen leading. Michael Berg going to fall into the 2nd spot, as you see, as I'm clicking through cameras trying to get myself all settled in. Berg going to be in there for 2nd. Tanner Tellerico, number 42. He'll roll to that 3rd spot. No pressure at all tonight for Tanner aboard that 42. 2-time winner in this segment, including at the Iowa Speedway, the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. No, he won at Indy and at New Hampshire, Iowa, went to Colton Salick, who is not here with us this week, wasn't here last week either, a guy that wasn't in the championship picture. But Colton Salick was our other winner here in the round of 8, so a lot to decide here. Long race here at Phoenix tonight, 110 laps, 110 miles, 9 drivers out there. The laps should go by pretty quickly here tonight. So glad you guys have all tuned in tonight to join the Phil and Jack Attack here live on Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch TV, checking out this all-new layout of the ISM Raceway here. First time I've come out here in the iRacing simulation to see how this layout works. And as we work down toward turn, I guess we call old NASCAR 1, this could be coming down toward the start-finish line, I almost think you could say. It is car number 55, Ed Behan leading the field over Michael Berg. Look at that transition down through the kink in the back straightaway. That thing is really, really abrasive going out over it. It was inside the number 42 of Tanner Tellerico. That thing really takes a violent shake on through. Nick Fleury into the 4th spot. Into number 50, David Patton's number 38. Rounding out our top 5 as we're going to race it off there for looked like 2nd that time over in turn number 1 and 2, and now as the 55 slides up the racetrack, look at the picture here. We go 3 deep almost for the race lead. Down into turn number 3. Big move for the 42 of Tellerico. Washes up the racetrack almost into the side. It didn't make contact. I'm not exactly sure how they did it. Michael Berg able to hold on. Tanner Tellerico, Ed Behan going to lead the field as if they could 4-car race for the race lead. Down in turn number 1, Michael Berg is going to put his Ford out in the front of the mix right now. That just plain black colored green numeral number 1. He's up to the race lead. Ed Behan now dropping back to that 2nd spot aboard number 55, 42 of Tanner Tellerico. Nick Fleury now at number 50 is a change up there for position. Ed Behan now has dropped back to the 4th spot. Is Nick Fleury going to attempt to make his way by? Tellerico has worked his way up to 2nd there as I got confused by 2 yellow cars where I was sitting. It is a 42 car now up to 2nd. Michael Berg going to lead as we work down the kink, headed off toward turn number 3, working lap number 7. So far, pretty impressed with these guys. A racing hell race going on here for 3rd with Fleury's number 50. Behan's number 55 washes back up the racetrack off before the Toyota there. Almost washed the nose up there. And you wonder if these guys may be running their stuff off a little bit too early. You can kill your tires in a place like Phoenix. I have done so for years and years around this joint. I don't care how the banking is, how the progression has changed. You overdrive this place, you upset your race car, it makes for a long, long, miserable night. So you're hoping these guys are not driving these things too hard already. You wonder where strategy is going to play off tonight as far as where these guys sit. You think they could probably make about 85 to 90 laps on a tank of fuel. Can tires go that far with them? Are we going to see guys pit around halfway like we did last week at a very similar racetrack at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway? We see guys break it in half. How about the story here tonight in the early stages? The number 1 of Michael Berg, a guy who was off to a disastrous start here in the round of 12, round of 8, I should say, has made his way up now 7 markers out of the cut line. He could badly use a win here if he's going to race his way on for a championship here tonight. Tanner Tellerico going to probably do his absolute best to make sure a guy like Michael Berg is not in contention next week. Only way to do that for sure is that 42 go up there, maybe steal off the race lead as we work through turns number 3 and 4. Nick Fleury holding on to the 3rd spot. Ed Behan back there in P4. David Patton's number 38. He has worked his way up into the top 5 and is starting to chase down that twosome up ahead. Tom Ricker's number 34. Wyckoff Heating and Cooling GT Mustang back there running in 6th. Andrew Burr in for 7th, and Dakota Wilkins out there as Dakota's around in the front straightaway up against the wall. He'll get the Snap-on Tools Energizer batteries. Chevrolet rolling again for the 44, having some issues here early. Dakota, a guy coming in 1 point out of that championship cut line tonight, needing a good run and not the way his night wants to start here as we early on of the going here. 12 laps of 110 up in the book, some heavy smoke pouring out the back of that number 44. That cannot be a good sign as we're going to try to race it down for the lead over here. The smoke is from the 88 of Will Weber, I should say. Will Weber is number 88 with some heavy smoke. That car going to come down pit road. Not sure if that thing blew up or he had contact with the wall. I did catch the 44 was around in the front straightaway, but we got a race here for position number 2 as we got the 42 washing up the racetrack. Nick Fleury in the number 50. He's going to work his way down through the kink, and they drive all the way down to the apron down there. What a cool picture. Probably makes a pretty, adventurous kind of race handling conditions aboard the race cars when they come back up on that racetrack. But, man, that's a cool look for these guys. David Patton's 38 running very comfortably right now in P5. Tom Richter right behind him looking at his windshield ahead as we continue to race it out for position number 2. Tellerico and Fleury racing it out. Ed Behan's number 55 right there in the mix as well. But these guys racing as hard as they are doing right now may let somebody like a Michael Berg and that number 1 maybe sprint his way out to the race lead as we work off turn number 4. We are going to put 14 laps at bay this time by now, working on lap number 15. As Berg going to lead the field. Fleury now dropping back to 3rd as Tellerico has worked his way back up to the 2nd spot. Here comes Behan down through the kick to backstretch, headed off into turn number 3. Ed going to drive it into the low side, washes up into the side of the 50 car, taps him again. Now somehow these guys may keep it straight, but wow, that was some tremendously trying times there for both drivers. Andrew Burr getting up in that mix there in the number 23. David Patton going to sneak by. Oh, that was pretty wild right there. David Patton, Tom Richter also. Tom now going to capitalize on the 38 lifting, put Tom Richter now up to P3. So got to capitalize on some misfortune of guys. We've seen Will Weber have some early. Dakota Wilkins now with some damage about to fall off the end of the lead lap here. Ed Behan now getting some trouble there. So these are guys racing for a championship, and you may not only need a good race car tonight here at ISM Raceway, you need to have a little bit of luck on your side as well, and maybe Tom Richter may have found some right there to 34 as he's now running up in the 3rd spot, still in the early stages here at the ISM Raceway. Glad you guys have all decided to join us here this evening live on Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch TV, and man, it's always a lot of fun. Cyber Thunder has been a great league to cover all season long. It was kind of small. Not a lot of people know how to get involved, but you look up Cyber Thunder Racing League, look them up on Facebook, go to the iRacing Simulation, look them up as well. A terrific league. Tom Ricker and the gang do a tremendous job, and hope you'll enjoy coming out here, maybe being a part of next season here in the Xfinity Series or even the Truck Series on a Tuesday night as we have a change up for the race lead as Tanner Tellerico has made his way around the number 1 of Michael Berg, but there is some tremendous little damage on the left rear of the number 42. So whatever the heck happened right there with the 42 and the 1 car, not exactly quite too sure there, but it looks like Michael Berg, paced his way back up to the front over Tellerico as they work their way off of turn number 4. Look up ahead of the race leader, and you do see Dakota Wilkins aboard car number 44. So look at this good race lead. Tellerico versus Berg as Tanner down off the low side drops himself up into the race lead through the kink, heading down off into turn number 3. Tellerico versus Berg for the race lead. Dakota Wilkins lap car up ahead, or not quite yet a lap car, but threatening here to fall off the lead lap. Dakota out there running in a spot, a guy racing for a championship, as 7 of this 9-car field was. We'll follow the works here the entire night as Dakota walks up the racetrack, gonna let the leaders go by as we continue to race it out down off into turn number 3 and 4. We're gonna pause for the cause here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Let you enjoy some of the sights and sounds of the ISM Raceway. We'll be right back here live on your source for esports racing. Right back here live at a Full Velocity Racing Network. Phil LaCasse, Jack Truin here with the call and the controls here tonight. You live at the ISM Raceway. Just kind of pausing here. Sore throat. Been a very busy week for us here at the network. And I was hoping my partner in crime, Mr. Stanton, was able to join us here this evening. But it looks like Todd may be a little bit late to the go if he makes it at all here tonight. Oh, he's had a very, very busy work week over at his place as well. We've missed him a couple of times on the airwaves this week. So Phil and Jack Attack can certainly carry this one along. But I'll do the best I can to carry the windowless call, all evening long, keep the energy level up, keep the racing exciting, because it's a pretty good one so far here early on at the ISM Raceway. We're back here following along with a battle with the likes of number 23 of Andrew Burr, Ed Bryan, back here number 55, David Patton, also in number 38. Racing going on outside the top 5, currently back there running, and that looks like 4th, 5th, and 6th. Looks like Nick Fleury's car may have threaded his way back to the 7th spot now, so Nick must have had some issues there in the 50 car. No, he had issues there with Ed Behan's car a little while ago. But watching out the 38 of David Patton now up to 4th. He trails the race leader, Tanner Tellerico, by 6 seconds here as Tanner is starting to open this one up. We've seen this story before for that number 42 car up in the lead. Last time by a 2.3 second advantage over the number 1 of Michael Berg. Michael running in that 2nd spot, instead of a guy who badly needs a win to put himself in the championship realm, or maybe capitalize on some other misfortune of other drivers. You got Tom Ricker right now running in the 3rd spot, in the number 34, David Patton back there in 4th, Ed Behan running in our top 5, Andrew Burr, number 23 currently running 6th, Nick Fleury back there in 7th, and a developing story from pit road. The number 44 of Dakota Wilkins, left-hand turn to the garage. And that is probably going to end the night for the driver of car number 44. Came in tonight 1 point out of the cut line behind Andrew Payne, who was not here. We talked to Andrew last week, said he was going to miss this week. Ed Behan and David Patton those second and third place spots right now in the points following the Tellerico number 42 with 2 wins. We'll know who raced into the round of 4. We're going to get 3 more out there tonight, and Dakota Wilkins, by way of it looks like a DNF, may fall on the outside looking in. So he was hoping for a good run here tonight. And man, I'll see if we talk to Bill Day out there. It looks like he's already retired himself for the evening. Already left through the TeamSpeak communication over here. So tough break for the driver of car number 44, and I hate to see somebody's championship hopes at 1 point between him and Tom Richter. So maybe Tom getting a little bit lucky there with the contact early. He currently runs in that 3rd spot, and he is beginning to run down the back of the one of Michael Berg. Tom having a tremendous run out here in Phoenix as we're 30 laps into the going here. Now working on lap number 31, and Tom has chased down the back of the 1 car as we exit turn number 4. Tanner Tellerico was gone. Last time by, it was well over 3 seconds. Now it's going to be up to 3.499. So just about 3.5 seconds. We'll concentrate on this race going on for second. Down to the kink in the back straightaway. Michael Berg going to pull all the way down low. Tom Ricker going to leave it up on the traditional racing surface, headed down to 3 and 4, and going to let him drive that car to the corner, maybe a little tad bit lower than Michael Berg. 1 pushes up off of 4. Maybe the 34 gets a run down to the inside. We'll wait and see as we head down toward turn number 1. Berg drives that thing deep down to the corner, keeping out low side down, gets a little tad bit loose, allows Richter's 34 car. He'll make a dive toward the apron through the kink. Kid Tom Richter picking it. Looks like, yeah, as Jack said, it looks like maybe a little bit of an old bump and run over there. It looks like a 34 just kind of gave a little kiss to the back of 1 car, and they are drag racing door to door off of turn number 4 for position number 2. Berg in a power move on the outside. Richter trying to do all he can aboard car number 34. I'm sure Tom is enjoying this right now. A good run here tonight would put him into the Final 4 next week at the Homestead Miami Speedway that you guys can find right here live on your source for esports racing. We're going to have this one to its conclusion next week in Homestead. We will crown a champion. We know Tanner Tellerico was going to be one of the favorites in for next week. Can a guy like Michael Berg somehow find his way in? Tom Richter was 1 point into the good here this evening, so doing all the right things. David Patton currently 4th for the racetrack. He had an 8-point cushion over the drivers all behind. He was currently sitting 2nd, but he was in that best position running 4th. You would think right now that would probably all uncertainly put himself clinching into the Final 4. Ed Behan, the number 55. Ed currently running 5th on the racetrack, and look back there, maybe a little race going on between himself and the number 38 of Patton as they are nose to tail off of turn number 4, and Ed was a guy who comes in tonight 4 points behind David in the points, sits currently 3rd in the standings, comfortable into the evening, but even to have one more strong run to transfer his way in a championship night here next week in Miami. So we'll head to South Beach with the gang at Cyber Thunder next week. 36 laps now in the books, 110 laps the distance here tonight at the ISM Raceway. It's a pretty long endurance race for these guys. Got to thank Wyckoff Heating and Cooling for coming aboard as the series sponsor for the Cyber Thunder Racing League, and also have to thank Kyle Howell and the gang over at Four Sons Home Improvement and Lawn Care for coming out this evening. The lawn care, landscaping, pressure washing, painting, stump removal, mulching, decks, fencing, siding, licensed and insured. Check them out. The gang at Four Sons Home Improvement. Kyle Howell, if you want to find them, area code 540-320-6920. 540-320-6920. Four Sons Home Improvement and Lawn Care. Thank them guys for stepping up tonight. We'll pause for the cause here under the green flag here at the ISM Raceway on your source for esports racing. 38 laps of 110 on the board. Tanner Tellerico continues to lead. Hi, back here live on a Full Velocity Racing Network with the Phil and Jack Attack as we take this one home here tonight at the ISM Raceway, Phoenix, Arizona. Cyber Thunder, Wyckoff Heating and Cooling, Thursday Night Thunder Series. Tanner Tellerico leading the field by 7 seconds. You guys saw under the break there a position change for second. Tom Richter got underneath the one of Michael Berg. Michael made a little contact with the outside wall, put the 34 down up to that second spot. This racing I've been watching going on for 4th, 5th, and 6th on back has been pretty dang good. Ed Behan back there with David Patton's number 38, Andrew Burr's number 23, and Nick Fleury. Those are the other 4 drivers up on the racetrack. They're out there running all, well, I can't even say nose to tail. They're mixing it up really good. Probably the best racing going on all over the speedway right now is Burr has pulled the big-time rush, number 23, now up ahead of the Nick Fleury machine. So Andrew Burr having a good night. Put himself, I believe, up to the 6th spot now aboard car number 23, as I believe the 55, the 38. May have distanced himself for the time being. Where did the 38 go? I've completely lost him somewhere. 38 has dropped all the way back to 7, so David Patton slipped up the racetrack. I did thought I saw the 50 car go by him. Sure did, is Ed Behan, Andrew Burr, Nick Fleury, David Patton, now the final car on the racetrack aboard car number 38, and that may be kind of unsettling for the time being. He had an 8-point cushion coming into tonight to race in for next week, and I'm not exactly sure how the points payout goes out here on a weekly basis. Maybe I can look that up here during a break, maybe get the real-time flavor of what is going on, but I tell you for sure, guys like Tanner Tellerico are going to race their way in next week. David Patton came in tonight, 2nd in the standings, 8 points to the good. He currently runs 7th. 3rd place in the standings is Ed Behan, number 55. He currently runs 3rd on the racetrack. He had 4 points above the cut line. With Andrew Payne not being here tonight, I think it's going to be almost a sure bet to say Andrew's not going to be at the Homestead of Miami Speedway for a championship, but I believe a guy, and also now Dakota Wilkins out of the race. He was 5th there, 1 point out of a top 4, so I think his championship bid may as well be over as well. The big winner here tonight may be Tom Richter aboard car number 34. As Tom now up to a 2nd spot, and if he can maintain that run to the second half of this race, we're approaching halfway aboard that number 34. Can Tom Richter maybe pull a rabbit out of his hat here tonight and, you know, race his way on to the Final 4 next week in South Beach? I guess we'll wait and see. I believe Michael Berg in the 1 car, I think we may have had our first green flag pit stop all night. Michael Berg came down on pit road to the 1, looks like put tires on that thing, and he is back out there now. Currently running in 7th, 1 lap down, but we see him over at turn number 3 and 4. He drives under David Patton, and now he's going to make the move on Nick Fleury. You can see that is definitely new goody tires on that number 1. That thing is a rocket right now. We'll do some lap time comparison through traffic last time here. 26.550 race leader Tanner Tellerico, 27.641. So Micah Berg well over a second better, and that was in traffic. Let's see where tires play out this time by for the driver of car number 1. 27.595 this past time for the 42 car. The race leader, let's see what Michael Berg's time here in the line. 26.517. So it's well over a second, but he's currently sitting 1 lap down, making up all that time here. I wonder if these guys out running around the racetrack are noticing the gain on the tire wear that number 1 car is getting. Tellerico leads Tom Richter by 7.8 seconds. Andrew Burr now number 23. Andrew currently runs in the 3rd spot, 14 seconds back. Nick Fleury is up to 4th at number 50. David Patton riding in the 5th spot. Ed Behan number 55. Ed relinquished his Toyota, the Gorilla Group machine, down to pit road. He's going to take 4 tires of the 55. Ed sat on the pole here this evening. He's come down for 4 tires, so I think he noticed the run that a 1 car got. He come down to pit road. Now Tom Richter in the number 34 Ford going to pit his way out of 2nd position. So we'll see what the Wyckoff crew does here on the far end of pit road as the 34 makes the slow crawl down pit road, 45 miles per hour. The speed limit. We'll see what the call is. Got to imagine it's going to be a 4-tire pit stop for Tom Richter. We're now past halfway here. 55 laps going on the 4 next time by. 34 hits the sign. Right side tires up in the air at his Mustang GT. Right side tire work very quick. They will swing over to the left sides. 4 tires for Tom Richter, and why not? He was gapping there between the gap, sitting in 2nd and 3rd. 34 car down and away. He'll leave here unimpeded, coming himself back out onto the racetrack. And we'll see if guys like David Patton, now running in fourth, relinquish their way in. Nick Fleury in the 50 still out there. Andrew Burr, the number 23, that big-time rush Venom Energy Machine. Andrew right now currently running in second, 15 seconds in the rear behind that number 42 of Tana Tellerico. That Tellerico Boardwalk Subs machine. The 42, the race leader, going to come on pit road right at the halfway mark as he completes lap 55. Let's see if Tanner elects for anything less than 4 tires. Right side tires up in the air in his Chevrolet. Right side tire work down. They're going to go over. See, we're going to go left sides. No, 2 tires only. 2 tire pit stop for the number. He did get 4. Never mind. I didn't see the left sides go down over there. It was overhead. I couldn't see the left sides coming off and going over the wall, but they sure did. 4 tires to number 42. Tanner Tellerico going to rejoin the race. Going to hand the lead over to Andrew Burr, the number 23. And we'll see how long the 23 elects to stay out there now on older tires, as it's him and Nick Fleury and David Patton, the 3 cars that have yet to come to pit road. But we're going to make that 2 because I see the 38 coming down. I see the 50 down, the 23 down. So the entire top 3 that have yet come to pit road are all going to go down there. Let's take a look at the 38 here, as he's a guy that was coming in tonight, sitting second in the standings, having the best shot of getting into next week here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. All 3 of those drivers coming down to pit road, 45 miles per hour. I'm going to pay attention to the stop here. The K&N Filters machine, car number 38, as he's going to hit his sign. Going to be at least 2 right side tires to him. I look over here and I see the 50 car of Nick Fleury also getting at least 2 right sides. Andrew Burr's 23 car also getting 2 right side tires. They're going to swing and take all 4 on all 3 of these race cars. 4 tires for Burr, 4 tires for Fleury, and also 4 tires for David Patton. They are all going to leave pit road and going to hand the lead back to car number 42 of Tanner Tellerico. He is going to lead Michael Berg by 2.19 seconds. So Micah Berg, who was trailing by almost 8 seconds when he came to pit road by pitting early, gained 6 seconds of track time out there over Tanner Tellerico, but still a 2.1 second interval to run down. Cycling back there to third, it appears to be Tom Richter. He's got a couple of car lengths there, or maybe mere car lengths. 2 car lengths on the 55 of Ed Behan. Ed out there running in the 4th spot. Andrew Burr going to run 5th. Nick Fleury, David Patton, your 7 cars on the racetrack. 2 drivers retiring early. Dakota Wilkins, the number 44 championship hopes for that team gone. And the number 88 of Will Weber joined us here to make a couple of laps. 38 car David Patton may have got a penalty on pit road, as David Patton, a developing story here, the number 38 K&N machine, back down on pit lane. We'll see if this may be a pass-through or a stop and go, whatever happened there. Maybe too hot on the pit lane for that K&N Filters Chevrolet. 38 David Patton comes back into his stall, and looks like a just stop and go penalty. That is a big, big hit right there for number 38. Definitely going to drop him off the lead lap as we complete 60 laps on the board here at the ISM Raceway. We'll be right back here to follow up the second half of this race live on your source for esports racing, Full Velocity Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. All right, back here live at a Full Velocity Racing Network. You saw a pretty dang good race going on there for that second spot with Ed Behan's number 55, Tom Ricker's number 34. What you did see there under the break, you saw Michael Berg getting into the outside wall with a little bit of help from Tom Ricker's machine. Michael now falling back to the fourth spot, and championship hopes could be fading from that number one team as he's falling all the way back now off the pace of well over 14 seconds back off our race leader, 15.6 last time by. He has lost almost 5 seconds to that group ahead. Ed Behan, Tom Richter having a pretty dang good race going on for the second spot. Berg right now, unimpeded for the fourth position. Andrew Burr rounds out our top five. Nick Fleury, he is in sixth, but maybe holding on to the back end of the lead lap here pretty soon. 21.5 seconds off the pace is that number 50 Racers for Christ Chevrolet. David Patton out there, number 38, currently running one lap down. He currently runs in seventh. Dakota Wilkins and Will Weber, they are the two cars out of the event here. The ISM Raceway now on lap number 66. And are we seeing Tanner Tellerico go 3 for 4 here in this round of 8? And he is doing one hell of a job out there in the 42. Last time by, the lead was 10.462 seconds. So, man, is Tanner out there giving it a whirl. I look over to the Facebook Live chat, and I see we got a couple of guys join us. Neil Pope's out there, one of our long-standing buddies out there, who's finally probably happy to see some NASCAR-like pavement stuff on the airwaves. Neil, welcome aboard. Mark Creighton out there as well, said 34 dumped to 1. Mark, I almost got to agree. I saw that too, and I think it was a little bit of a stuff job there, if I could say, from the 34 out to the 1. I'm sure Michael maybe sure he's a little upset with that, but I'm probably pretty sure he feels a little bit wronged over there. And then the number 1, Camp Richter, now running in the third spot aboard car number 34. Sure, Tom. I mean, I don't think Tom's that kind of racer. I'm sure he probably has to feel a little bad about putting out the one car up the wall. Tom now running in that third spot as he has lost second to Ed Behan, the number 55. And Ed is starting to put some pretty good lap times up there. Last time by, 27 flat, equaling a lap time of Tanner Tellerico last time, 27.091 for the number 42, 27.054 for the number 55. So a little bit tick quicker right now for the 55 car, currently running in that second spot. Tom Richter said back in third. Andrew Burr now has made his way up to the back end and are now around the Michael Berg number 1 car. So put Andrew Burr now up to P4. Michael Berg beginning to struggle here. Maybe that car has lost some goodie on the tire. May have hurt the motor by being put up on the wall there. You never really know for sure with these cars. But you know, Michael Berg now back in the 5th spot and maybe dropping a little bit more because Nick Fleury, the number 50, has also made his way around. So Berg has dropped back to the 6th spot, the final car on the lead lap. So I feel bad for a guy with a tremendous amount of talent and a guy that I really wish, you know, that with the talent that guy's got, the races I've seen him win over the years, I thought for sure Michael Berg was going to be undoubtedly one of the guys in the final 4 when this round of 8 started a couple of weeks ago in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But I'm going to be just completely you know, for all bet that Michael Berg may not be one of those guys racing in the final 4. Had a disastrous 2 weeks at Indy and also at the Iowa Speedway. Had a decent run going on last week in New Hampshire, but fell off short and comes in tonight here live in Phoenix and just was having a decent night. Looked like maybe a second place car, and looks like some circumstance out there may have just ruined that number 1 machine. So Micah Berg out there running in the 6th spot. Mark's over here saying you sound like an announcer in our area. Mark, I appreciate that. Hopefully that's a good compliment because we appreciate that. We like what we do out here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Because iRacing kind of had a big day as it made its national TV debut on MSNBC with the Peak Antifreeze series, and those guys, it was really cool to see what we do out here, iRacing, a lot of these cars and stars, and seeing it come to life in a big way, like I think the esports realm here of eNASCAR and eSIM racing absolutely deserves. And it was cool to see that out there in that light this afternoon. Guys put on really one hell of a show. We saw Nick Ottinger, the number 47 JTG Jordy team, take down the win in a terrific race here over Ryan Lewis a little while ago. That was a little action, the Peak Antifreeze Series A race at the Iowa Speedway. Haven't watched that version of NASCAR America yet. If it's on the DVR or whatever, you guys got to go back and check it out. It was really cool to see the sim racing world come out to life the way it's deserved to be for a long, long time. Mark's asking, fixed setup league? Yes, sir, Mark. The Cyber Thunder Racing League is all fixed setups. They run out here in the Xfinity cars on a Thursday night. They run in the Truck Series mod on Tuesday night. A great league if you're an iRacer. I hope you maybe come out here and think about joining Tom and the gang over here at Cyber Thunder. A great league. We go back a long time with Tom, all the way back to the days of the old Blaze and Pedals League out in NR 2003. So good to see guys like Tom and old league at Cyber Thunder he had years ago in NR 2003 kind of come back and rebirth itself over here in iRacing. Really, really cool. Mark says, yep, they did good. It was great to watch. It certainly was. I enjoyed watching that today. It was cool to see that flavor. Is very familiar names we all know out there if you follow the Peak Anti-Freak series, and really cool to see Sim Racing get us to today live on National Network TV. That was pretty awesome. You know who's doing awesome out here tonight on the Full Velocity Racing Network is the driver of car number 42, Tanner Tellerico, leads by 10.2 seconds over Ed Behan's number 55. Tom Richter's number 34. Tom's had a good night. Tom currently running in the third spot. Andrew Burr finds himself fourth. Nick Fleury's up to the top five. Michael Berg running sixth. David Patton still one lap down there, running in seventh. Dakota Wilkins and Will Weber out of the event. On the lap number 78, we'll take a pause here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. We'll be right back here. We'll see if we can take it to the finish here. Next call, back into your source for esports racing. Don't go far, guys. It's getting pretty intense up here for a second.
Boy, these iRacing iFlag cars are fast tonight.
You know, Todd, I guarantee you, Brown, Leonardi, Weaver, Capert, and Pena are all using their products on their sponsor tonight to give them the upper hand over the competition.
Well, how can I get fast like those guys?
Well, that's easy, Todd. You gotta head over to iRacingIFlag.com.
All right, back here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. We give you the iRacing iFlag spot right there. Plug for our website, of course, fullvelocitytv.com. Got to thank the gang over here at Cyber Thunder Racing League. Got to thank their great sponsors like Wyckoff Heating and Cooling and Four Sons Home Improvement and Lawn Care. But we got to thank our sponsors that make the Full Velocity Racing Network go round as well. Got to thank great folks like Hannibal Record Service and iRacing iFlag. Voiles Trucking, our friends Brian and Kathy Voiles. Got to thank all the gang over at BladeNode.com. Got to thank Scott over at South Texas Speedway, Jake Keel over at Monstar Productions, and great companies and leagues that join us, like TDR Racing League and Hard Motorsports, Trash Panda Graphics, Evil One Graphics, and also our buddy Brendan Spadafora over on YouTube, a show called Full Throttle with the Gent. If you haven't listened to that yet, it's a good old podcast-style NASCAR-themed show. Check that out today, Full Throttle with the Gent on YouTube, as we go back to racing action here live at the ISM Raceway, now on lap number 88 of 110. So laps beginning to whittle down here, just as the competition has really whittled down. Tana Tellerico was just on his way to a good old-fashioned butt kicking again here live at Cyber Thunder. I believe he's won about 5 or 6 here this season over the course of the entire year. And he has really put on a clinic here recently aboard car number 42, Ed Behan's number 55. Ed a little bit quicker right now than our race leader last time by at 27.411 versus Tanner's 27.847. So Ed almost ran a half a second faster. He's cut the interval down to about 9.5 seconds of that Toyota number 55. Tom Richter still currently running in third, but he's 11.5 seconds off our race leader, Andrew Byrne, number 23. Andrew having a night he probably needed to have a couple of weeks ago, a guy running for a championship. Andrew back there running in fourth, currently 18.78 seconds back behind our race leader. Mick Fleury, the only one on the field here tonight, wasn't running for a championship. He currently runs fifth, tailing on to the end of the lead lap. Michael Berg has fallen one lap down and now on pit road aboard car number 1. David Patton's number 38, also still out there, the K&N Filters machine. David sitting one lap down due to a pit road speeding penalty. See Michael Berg having some work done down there to that number 1 machine. They are taking out of the hammers and working on that thing pretty good. 2 cars out of the race, including championship contender Dakota Wilkins and also Will Weber, number 88. He joined us. We had 2 drivers out here starting the race that weren't running for a championship. Will joining Nick Fleury, but now working on the lap number 92. The number 42 is just setting sail here this evening as he works his way off of turn number 2 and down that back straightaway and looking up ahead. I believe that's David Patton, number 30, up ahead. It sure is. David trying to cling on to the end of 1 lap down right now and in danger of maybe falling a second lap to the rear. David came in tonight second in the standings. He led the group of drivers that have not won yet in this segment. 8 points he had to the margin of good to race his way on to the final 4, which happens to be next week in South Beach at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Ed Behan now has cut the interval down to 9.2 seconds. The only problem he's having here is we're under 20 laps to go here tonight, so he may be out of time to run down that number 42 car. I guess I'll have to wait and see, but Ed doing a really good play here tonight. Ed coming third in the standings this evening, 4 points to the good as far as way a championship goes, and got to think for sure leading the points out of the guys that haven't won. He probably put himself into the show here at the Homestead Miami Speedway next week. Big night for number 34 of Tom Richter. Came in 6th in the standings, 2 points out of the cut line. Dakota Wilkins is 1 point ahead of him. Dakota falling out early. Andrew Payne coming into the night, held that last transfer spot. Andrew not with us here this evening. So Tom Richter's number 34 may stand to be the big winner here tonight, as being the final car that may race his way to the final 4, but we still got points to settle out because Andrew Burr is out there. He came in tonight 11 points back. You guys like David Patton back there said he came in 8 to the good. David 1 lap down, currently running in that 6th spot. And Michael Burr coming tonight 7 points out. Thought he was going to have a big night to maybe even win this race to run his way to Homestead next week. But that may be falling short as working on lap number 95. The advantage between the 42 and the 55 continues to shrink down to 8.895 seconds as we get the start-finish line this time by. That changes again to 8.864. A lap time of 27.697 for Ed Behan, 27.728 for the 42 of Tana Tellerico. So 55 right now the fastest car on the racetrack as he is beginning to run out of time here live tonight in Phoenix. Let's see if anything can happen. We've been caution-free so far. Hope we don't jinx it right there. 96 of 110 on the board. I'm glad you guys have all joined us tonight here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Phil LaCash, Jack Truman doing the controls. Glad you guys have tuned in. I got to thank you again to Mark Creighton for the chat back and forth. Neil Pope out there as well. I see my old buddies like Randall Coleman checking it over there as he's clocked in the watch. Randall, hope all is well, brother. I know you guys are busy over there, but you can see what we're doing over here at Cyber Thunder here this evening. Great to see you guys out there watching. A couple over here on Facebook Live, a couple over here on YouTube, where the chat has been quiet all night long, so pretty stable over here. So glad you guys have decided to tune in for what is a pretty good night here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. The last round of the final round of 8. One more week left in the Cyber Thunder Wyckoff heating and cooling season. Next week, the Xfinity cars roll into the Homestead Miami Speedway, where we will crown a champion. And I will tell you what, the heavy odds-on favorite right now has to be the driver of car number 42 of Tanner Tellerico. With a win here tonight, he would win 3 of the 4 races in this round of 8. And if that's a butt kicking, if I've ever heard one right there, Tanner doing a hell of a job. But you got the 55 at Behan, still the fastest car out on the racetrack, and we'll clock in some lap times this time by 27.711 there for the race leader of the 42. Ed Behan hits the line 27.562, so almost 2/10 faster for the 55. Cut the interval down to 8.24 seconds. The only problem here next time by for that number 42 car, it's going to be 10 laps to go here tonight at the ISM Raceway in Phoenix, Arizona, and they are strung out single file over this racetrack here. There is no racing battles, position battles, nothing to even talk about right now. So we'll just kind of let these laps kind of log on by, and we'll see if anything is to change here. Somebody maybe cuts a tire. Can't imagine anybody runs out of fuel. These guys all pitted right around halfway, so got to imagine they were good. Michael Berg pitted a little while ago with some damage. I believe he's back on the racetrack, running out there 10 laps down aboard car number 1. So Michael Berg's disastrous round of 8 continues out here tonight. ISM 7th edition, currently running 10 laps down to the field. So I think it's going to be nothing short of a miracle tonight. A few races on next week into Homestead, but Tanner continues to lead. Ed Behan now has cut the interval down to 6.276 seconds. A lap time last time by of a 27.60. Over Tanner Tellerico's 28.821, so it's going to about a quarter of a tenth between the two. Is let's see, Tellerico this time by 28 flat, 28.005. Let's see if Ed Behan can keep that lap time blazing as he is. 27.60 last time by. We'll see what the timing and scoring says here as he hits the finish line again. It's 27.599, so interval down to 5.869 seconds. Under 6 seconds, I guess not impossible. Highly improbable as the pace of the 42 car is really slowed. Even Tom Ricker now turning lap times quicker than the race leader. 27.80 last time by for Tom versus that 28 flat. Now 27.93 for the number 42 up front. So you see Ed Behan rocks it down 27.736. Knocking the interval down to 5.6 last time around. So I'm not sure there's too much drama here left to play here at the ISM Raceway, as we're going to have 6 laps remaining this time by for the driver of that Tellerico Boardwalk Subs, car number 42. And say this guy's not a favorite for next week. I don't know what a favorite looks like, because this guy's just really taking it to him out there again. And Mark, it's really good insight out there. I'm glad you put that out there, thinking about it. Tanner in the dirty air, it's really hurting the drive off the corner. I think he's absolutely right. He's out there behind the one car, was running up there behind the 38 for a little while as well. So if that dirty air is hurting the nose of that number 42, and it's kind of allowed the 55 out there, and Ed's out there, and basically Clean Air has dropped the interval down to just under 5 seconds, 4.997 last time by, as we're under 5 laps to go here at the ISM Raceway in Phoenix, Arizona, and we'll see where the interval sits here next time around as Tellerico works his way off of turns number 3 and 4. 55 car starting to loom large behind him. I'm not sure if that's the drive off the race car, Mark, but tires have really gone away. Has he driven that thing far out too soon? Because Ed Behan, who sat on the pole here a little while ago, has cut it down now, but only by 100th that time. 4.945, so lap times for the 55 may be slowing as well as the 42 car over in turns number 3 and 4. He will complete 107 circuits this time around, and so he looks up ahead. He sees the one car on kind of fresh tires, some damage repair. David Patton's up ahead. David's been running pretty solidly consistent. It sucks that he had that speeding penalty to put him 1 lap down to the rear. David Patton currently running in 6th. Tellerico, we're going to look to the low side of Michael Berg now, running off into turn number 3. Let's see if the one car pulls over or attempts to run that thing a little bit hotter up high. He'll keep that thing in the throttle. carry the 42 off the corner as Tanner all the way down to the apron out of 4. This time by, it's going to be 2 to go from the stand. 2 popsicle sticks down, 2 more trips around this flat 1 mile oval here, Phoenix, Arizona, for car number 42 of Tanner Tellerico, whose lead has now expanded to 4.7 seconds over Ed Behan at 55. Ed gave it one really good go there in the end of the run. Looks like his tires have finally decided to give way. Tom Richter having a solid third-place effort. Andrew Burr, Nick Fleury running at our top 5. Tellerico this time exiting turn number 4. Is going to have white flag in the air one more time around for that brightly yellow color number 42 off of turn number 2 down to the kink for the final time and over into turns number 3 and 4. His third victory in the round of 8 coming off of corner number 4. Checkered flag in the air. Tanner Tellerico going to pick up the win here tonight at the ISM Raceway. Second will go to Ed Behan's number 55 as he comes down to the start-finish line. Looking back here for Tom Richter, running in third as he exits 4. He gets under the checkered flag to get a third. Andrew Burr still working off through turns 3 and 4 here. He gets back in the gas pedal. Andrew Burr will get 4th. Nick Fleury going to hold on to the lead lap to finish 5th. David Patton will get 6th. Michael Berg will finish up 7th. Dakota Wilkins 8th. Will Weber running out our 9-car field here tonight. 110 laps come to its conclusion at the ISM Raceway. We will talk to our big winner, Tanner Tellerico, and the rest of the top 3 on the post-race show live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. BladeNo.com post-race show coming up next. All right, back here live, post-race show presented by BladeNo.com on your source for esports racing tonight. We're Tanner Tellerico taking down the win here at the ISM Raceway in Phoenix, Arizona over Ed Behan. And our third-place finisher now going to join us up here in the booth aboard car number 34, the Wyckoff machine of Tom Richter. Tom, a really good solid night for you to finish up third. Was kind of uneventful for a little while besides the contact with the one car. Tell us about your run here tonight on a very tough racetrack.
Well, Phil, first off, it's good to talk to you. It's been a while since I got to talk to you. Yeah, I guess I was just on faster tires. I want to apologize to Mike for kind of just running him over there. Wasn't expecting the tire difference to be that much. But there was some really tight racing at certain points throughout the race. There was some, if you could actually downshift in these cars and get them to rotate the corners, get a better launch off.
Well, it was a lot of fun to watch you guys go out there, 110 laps caution-free. This place has a tendency to not only wear out race cars and tires, but to wear out race car drivers. How you feeling after 110 laps out here, driving that thing as hard as you could?
Well, I was trying to hold off Ed because I knew he had some stuff happen early in the race, so I thought maybe I thought he was handicapped enough that I was going to be able to hold him off, but clearly that wasn't the case. He finished about 7 seconds in front of me. But, I'm wore out. I'm just ready for Homestead.
All right, well, big picture. Let's talk about Homestead. You came in tonight, 6th in the standings, 2 points behind Andrew Payne, who wasn't here. Dakota had an awful night. He retired early. I believe I'm not a mathematician. I think I figured out how the points go. I'm going to think you're the 4th driver into the Final 4. That's going to feel good, man. Tell us about your thoughts going into Homestead next week, running for a championship.
To not only run for a championship, but with this group of guys, you got Tanner out here, you got Mike Berg, you got Dave. Ed's always up there in the top 5. But I just came out of, where was it, Iowa. I came out of and I said, you know what, I know I'm not going to be able to do anything in New Hampshire, so I just got to be within striking distance at Phoenix or ISM. And we were 1 point out, and I said, all right, I can work with this.
Well, Tom, it's a job well done tonight, partner. We're great to see you be one of the four racing on next week. I'm going to give you the floor one more time here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. We're live on Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch TV. It's been a while since we've done this, Tom. Take it away and thank everybody like to thank out there for watching and all you great sponsors you got on that race car. That thing's a beauty.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We put some black magic on the 34 car tonight. First off, I got to thank Wyckoff, Randy Wyckoff, and the guys over in Carlisle, Iowa. They stepped up in a big way. They took a huge chance on us. They've been a pleasure to work with, and I hope they're out there watching it tonight. If not, hopefully they can catch it on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, and maybe even MSNBC for you, Phil. There. But that aside, all the drivers that have come out here week in, week out, obviously we've been struggling with the numbers a little bit. We're coming towards season end. You guys are coming out every Thursday night, spending it with us. We're just glad to have you and everybody that's part of this.
Well, we appreciate you having us over here. This has been a lot of fun to cover, and one more week left to go, man. Give it hell next week at Homestead, buddy. He's a guy I've known you for a long time. We'll be rooting for you, man. Good luck next week, and thanks again for doing all you do for us.
You better believe it, Phil. Thank you guys for coming out.
All right, there he is. Tom Richter aboard number 34, getting a really solid third-place run here tonight at the ISM Raceway, and the final driver clutching his way into the round of four next week. Let us go down here and talk to the driver number 55. He gets a second-place run here tonight at Behan, and a terrific run for you. Man, that 42 car was on a rail, but you sat on the pole, had some issues early. You rallied back to finish second, brother. Tell us about that run.
Oh, that was a sketchy race. Smacked the wall twice in the first, 15 laps, and then I got into Nick, which I felt really bad about. But then I thought he was collecting it a little more, but then I realized he wasn't collecting it. I hit him again. Can't believe that didn't bring out a caution. Same thing happened to Dave. It was a sketchy run, but my 55 Kitty Toyota Camry had a lot of speed, and happy for that.
The kitty car looked good tonight, and I think you're the only one out there driving a Toyota. Is that like a little stiffer nose of that thing? Because I think you hit Nick 2 or 3 times. I thought for sure he was going around. He never did. Front end of that car still looks pretty clean. What are y'all building on front end of those Toyotas? That thing's going to be solid.
I know. I think this thing's got a steel toe on the front of it.
Well, and I got to say, you were a guy coming in tonight with a 4-point gap to get into the championship. You're going to race your way in to the Homestead Miami Speedway as part of the Final Four next week. What are you thinking there going forward? Are we going to put the voodoo hex out on Tanner? Because he's been on a tear here recently.
I think we might have to. Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of practice between now and next week, and, hopefully we can pull it through. And it would be the first win of the season, too, if I could pull it off at Homestead.
Hey, why the heck not? Do it in a big way. Pull out a win, get a trophy out there today, and that would be really good to see next week. But a great second-place run for you here tonight on Full Velocity. We are live on Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch TV. Anybody out there watching tonight, Ed, you want to thank the floor was yours. Take it away and talk to all the people out there.
Yep, just want to thank Tom and Dave and everyone with Cyber Thunder and Wyckoff Heating and Cooling. I want to thank you guys, and I want to thank my wife for watching the race. Say hi.
Hi.
There we go.
Love it. All right. Well, when the wives are watching, I guess that's a good thing because I usually would put mine to sleep. I think I do that anyways. But there you have it, folks. Down here, trackside aboard car number 55. Ed Behan going to pick up second position and race his way on to the Homestead next week, along with the number 38 of David Patton. He'll be a part of the Final Four next week, along with the driver of car number 42 for the third time in this round of 8. Tanner Tellerico taking down the win as we walk in to BladeNode.com and see a guy who doesn't look like he broke a sweat. It's hot out here tonight, Tanner. How the heck are you looking so cool and calm after 110 laps at this place?
Oh, well, it wasn't really all that cool and calm like the first 20 or 25 laps there. That was actually pretty crazy. The initial start, me and Mike and Eddie were having a heck of a race, and something happened to Eddie, and he got into the wall, and me and Mike were like running 1-2, and I got up alongside him, and I went to cut the dog leg, and I don't know, I haven't went back and watched the replay or anything yet, but I went to cut the dog leg and came up the track and came across the yellow line and got into his door pretty hard, but it felt like I was pretty low on the track. I don't think he was all that happy with me after that. And I apologize to Mike, I haven't had a chance to talk to him, but the old Boardwalk Sub Chevy was running pretty good tonight. Again, this has kind of caught me off guard again. I don't know what the deal is. Apparently, I need to start thinking that I'm going to run bad at all the tracks because apparently it works pretty good when I think that way.
Yeah, what is up with that? Because we talked to you after Indy when you won there, and you say, you know what, 3 basically short tracks up ahead. I'm not a short track guy. And you go out there and you pull off 2 wins and a second place finish. I mean, your worst finish in a 4-race stretch is second. I mean, short track racer? I would think you are.
I mean, I don't really know what my deal is, honestly. I think part of it is when we went to Martinsville, I struggled so bad at Martinsville, and then we went to Bristol. I didn't have the greatest race either there. I ran a little bit better at Bristol than we did at Martinsville, but I think just my mindset coming out of those 2 races with the finishes that we had, I think that kind of put me in the bad mindset going into this round. But I don't know. I don't know if it's because Phoenix is a little bit bigger. It's not. I know it's kind of an ongoing debate of whether or not a mile-long track is considered a short track or speedway. In my mind, it's a speedway. I don't know if it's because it's a little bit bigger or what the deal is. Same as New Hampshire last week. I don't know. I just seem to get around it pretty good.
So I got to ask, with aspirations of a guy like yourself toward maybe looking forward to a full run at the Peak Antifreeze Series, how much confidence do you get running off of the season here at Cyber Thunder? You've been on a pretty good run here recently with racetracks you haven't been all too a fan of. You ran really good after watching what those guys did on MSNBC today. I don't know if you tune in to watch that or not, but after you having a strong wing at Iowa, turning in 3 wins in this segment, how much excitement and how much confidence do you get maybe making a run at the Peak title, maybe even next season?
I mean, it is exciting. One thing, I'm pretty tight with Ashton Crowder. He drives the number 77. NASCAR America, Toyota for Burton Claire Mini Sports. We're pretty good friends, and he's taught me a lot. He knows a lot of the ins and outs of how the iRacing sim works and what works good and what doesn't. And he's kind of passed those along to me. I would have to go up through the Pro Series first and then get promoted up to Peak, but the Pro Series is something I think about. You got to have a lot of time set aside. You kind of got to make that a lifestyle for a little while if you really want to make a legitimate run at it. And we all know everybody's got stuff they got to do in real life, in the real world. So
don't we ever?
If my real world schedule allows me to do it, I'd love to make a run at it.
Well, we'd love to see you take a run one day as well. You're a great driver, a lot of talent, Tanner. I'm going to give you the mic one more time here, live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, and definitely the favorite we will see next week in Homestead. But for this big win here tonight, bud, I'll give you the floor one more time out there live, and thank her like to thank you got you out here.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to Boardwalk, all my family and friends that I know I say it every week that tune into these races, and they might not watch them live, but at some point in the week they try to get their eyes on it and see what goes on. And I want to thank them for their support. All of you guys at Full Velocity, Wyckoff, all my fellow racers and competitors. I think we didn't have the greatest field of cars tonight, but I think we had pretty good competition throughout the whole field. And yeah, I just had a really good time tonight. And like I said, thanks to you guys, thanks to everybody else.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. From BladeNo.com, Victory Lane, the driver of car number 42, been wearing this bat out down here. Tanner Tellerico picking up a win, and that will do it for us tonight here live on your source for esports racing. Got to thank Tom and all the gang over here at Cyber Thunder. Got to thank all you guys out there watching tonight with Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch TV. Got to thank our great sponsors, of course, once again. Got to thank Hannibal Record Service, iRacing, iFlag, Voiles Trucking, BladeNo.com, South Texas Speedway, Montstar Productions, TDR Racing League, Har Motorsports, Trash Panda Graphics, Evil One Graphics, and Full Throttle with the Gent. For Jack Truman, Todd Stanton, Ron Piles, Martin Karch, and the entire cast of characters, there are many here at the Full Velocity Racing Network. Phil LeCasse going to sign up. We'll see you back here live. A special Friday edition of Full Velocity Racing Network. Street Stock Racing happening tomorrow night. A great 5-race challenge series. We're going to pick it up at week number 3. David Kurtz and the gang over there. We'll see you back here live tomorrow night. I believe I got to find the name of the league here really quick. I believe it was Twin Motorsports or something. We're like, we're going to figure it out. We'll put it out there. Links for you live tomorrow night. See you back here live on your source for esports racing.